I'm really sad, and I'm extremely sad concerning the ongoing killings, senseless and wanton killings going on in Nigeria by criminals. I condemn it in strong terms because it makes no sense for somebody to take another person's life for no just cause, for no reason. I condemn the inability of the Nigerian government to protect the lives and properties of Nigerians in breach of its social contract with Nigerians. I condemn strongly the failure, refusal, and or neglect of the Nigerian government to investigate, prosecute, and convict those criminals who are committing this heinous crime against humanity. Even after identifying them, the federal government knows where these criminals are, who they are, but have failed to set a kind of deterrent for others not to follow this path of wickedness against fellow mankind. Having said that, I want to say that I am highly irritated and that it's repulsive and very, very annoying for the Nigerian government each time people are being killed like this to come out and start preaching peace, preaching love, asking people not to revenge. It is 100% repulsive. Yeah, in as much as I advocate that people should not revenge because it's against the law to revenge. You don't have any reason to revenge. But ordinarily, the law should take its course. If somebody lost a loved one by unlawful violence against them, by criminals, the government needs to arrest these criminals, prosecute them as deterrence to others. But when the government is failing to do that, the government now comes to tell you not to revenge. Is that not hypocritical? In the first place, if you didn't submit your right and sovereignty to the government, and in return, you're expecting the government to give you protection, ordinarily, you can take the laws into your hand to revenge. But you have not done so because you believe there's a government. So is it not hypocritical for this government who have failed to perform its obligations, its right and duties to the citizens? Is it not hypocritical for them to ask the citizens not to revenge? Fellow Nigerians, please, I want to beg you, don't revenge. But I think it's high time the federal government should start talking about and educating the people on their right to self-defense in order to prevent these unwarranted and unprovoked killings. We should talk about self-defense. The government should educate Nigerians on their right. Fellow Nigerians, I tell you, the right to self-defense is your constitutional right. Fellow Nigerians, if you sit down and you wait for the government to defend you, then you need to go to the psychiatric hospital to get your head to be examined. In America, that would claim to copy. In Britain, all these countries will claim to copy. Yes, the state protects life and property, but the first defender of life is the individual. Nigerians, yes, the president of Nigeria is the commander-in-chief of Nigeria. But I want to tell you today that you are the commander-in-chief of your life, not the president. You are the commander-in-chief of your life. You are the first person to defend your life before the state will come. Because before the state will come, it will be too late. Now you want to ask me, how do I go about defending my life? The only way you can do it, that I know, is for you to do it within the confines of the law. And I am saying that you must apply to the appropriate authorities. The appropriate authorities for you to get a licensed gun of any category are the president, the commissioner of police, and the inspector general of police. It depends on the category of gun that you want. Now, if you don't apply for this gun, nobody will apply for it for you. Don't, fellow Nigerians, stop being deceived by the government that you cannot have gun or that you don't have right to have guns. That is not true. You have right. It is your constitutional right. Go and demand for it. It is very simple. Stop crying. Enough is enough. Stop crying. Stop begging for your life. Stop begging the government. Stop begging the bandits. Stop begging the criminals. Apply for guns. Look, if you apply for gun and you are refused, please come see me. I will help you get that gun that you want. I'm not kidding you. I will help you. Look, fellow Nigerians, the requirement for applying for guns or to get guns is very simple. I'll tell you. It is there in the law. The first requirement is that you must be an adult. You must be an adult. The second requirement is that you must be a person of a sound mind. The third requirement is that you should be medically fit. That is to say, you have good eyesight. You don't have a problem with your chest, so you'll be able to handle the firearms. Another fourth requirement is that you must be somebody of interpret behavior or habit. That means you're not temperamental. You don't have any history of violence. And the last requirement, the fifth requirement, is that 5 years prior to your application, you have not been convicted of any offense any offense that relates to violence. Fellow Nigerians, once you meet this requirement, you are entitled to a gun. It is unheard of that a government will prefer criminals to be armed with AK-47 and general purpose machine guns and other sophisticated weapons over and above her own citizens or its own citizens. It's unheard of. It's very unpatriotic. It is treacherous. Nigerians, apply for guns. Stop crying. Stop begging for your life. Apply. It is your constitutional right.